Hello, everyone, and happy Friday. Yes, yes. Hello, Tia. Axenpie will do great today. I believe in him. Thank you, Tia. That does mean a lot. You might be the only one who believes in me for this game, because it is hard, even for me, to have confidence in myself when it comes to a game like this. But I'm glad at least one person has confidence in me, so thank you, Tia. That does mean a lot. Also, Loddle, hello. Nice to see you again in stream. Yes, I don't know if you saw the previous streams of this game, Loddle, but it involved lots of falling back down and losing all my progress, but getting back up, and regaining it and all. So in that way, I suppose you could say it's a fairly inspiring game. Or at least it can be inspiring if you approach it that way. But today we'll just have to see what the game has in store for me. But I'm looking forward to playing it and to seeing if I can make any further progress today. Because last time I was right around the point of the anvil jump, and that is indeed a tough part of the... Well, all the parts of this game are tough, but as you can see here, I'm trying to jump from this anvil to this cliffside, using, of course, my trusty hammer and cauldron, which is maybe not the most practical setup for getting up to the top of this mountain, but I respect this guy's determination to do it. Your voice sounds extra nice today, in my opinion. New mic settings or just me? I was experimenting with setting up a noise gate yesterday for some content I was doing for some pre-recorded video stuff, but then I turned it off, and so like all the settings that are on the mic now should be the same as I've done in past streams. Maybe my voice is just, extra good today. Who knows? Oh. So that first jump actually wasn't too bad. I was pretty close to getting up to it that time. Really, I think with this section, chat, the main difficulty is not so much getting up to the top of that cliff, but later there's a series of jumps you have to do that are very tough. And I think that's going to be the ones that I really end up struggling with. But yeah, with this first jump here off the anvil is pretty challenging in its own right, but it's not the hardest jump in this section. I think the hardest one you'll see is coming up in just a little bit. But not to worry, because I will prevail, or at least I will attempt to, though it might take many attempts. But while I'm struggling, while I keep screwing up this jump, chat, how are you doing today? I hope everyone is doing pretty well. Okay. Oh, dang it. Sometimes you have so much momentum from the jump, it just sets you back again. How far from the beginning is this? Pretty far. I think, from what I know of the game and what I've seen of it in speedruns and stuff, we're actually not that far from the end. Though, of course, it's hard to judge how far you are from the end in terms of time it'll take, just because of the difficulty of the jumps. But like in terms of just sheer distance, we're actually pretty close. I think there's like one other major area coming up, and then like we're at the end. But yeah, from the beginning, we've actually made pretty substantial progress. Honestly, you made a lot of progress last episode, so I'm confident you'll be able to progress that much more today, coming back to it refreshed. Oh, thanks. Well, I certainly hope so. That would be really cool. Okay, yeah, see, this is what you have to do for this jump. You have to just kind of take it slow there and get up to that little cliff area there. Yes. I'm doing well. How about you? Oh, well, I'm glad to hear you're doing well, Lotto. Yeah, today I'm doing pretty well, too. I met with a new student a few minutes ago, and so that was good. Got to talk about Plato and Aquinas and Pascal, some of philosophy's greatest hits. So that was fun. And oh dang it. Sorry, my mind got distracted by Plato, and suddenly I found myself back in this lower realm right here. But it's okay, because I think I'm getting a little bit more reliable at this jump, at least. Yeah, the key to doing this section, chat, is that you just can't get too impatient. You really have to just take it slow and trust in the friction. Trust in the hammer. That it will take you where you need to go. See, just like that. Nice and slow, nice and smooth is the way we want it. Now, here, there's this part with the rock jutting out. And you want your hammer to just, reach right up there. And if I put enough downforce on it, it should take me up to the next section. Yep, see, just like that. That is what I was attempting to do. Getting distracted by Play-Doh is valid, though. Okay, yes. Fair point. The inner 4-year-old in me, yes, will always be distracted by Play-Doh. So chat, remember when I was saying a moment ago that there's this series of difficult jumps? Well, this is it. At least this is the first in that series. And originally, I considered just trying... Well, I'll show you what I was thinking of doing. Originally, I was thinking of just putting my X here and then just trying to launch myself at it that way. But the thing is, I think if I do that, I'll have too much speed, and then I'll just kind of bounce off the rock face. So I think probably the safer way, even if it feels a little scarier in a way, is to try to pogo myself. I think this is probably a good time for pogoing. I'm still struggling with my 2-month-long cold, but I picked up some supplements today that seem to help. Here's hoping I'll recover slowly over the next few weeks. Gee, a 2-month-long cold, that is pretty brutal. Sorry to hear having to been going through that, Tia. Hope the supplements continue to help, though. Maybe you're on the tail end of it. Oops. So that wasn't too good, but luckily I'm still on the cliff side. So at least I don't have to go to the anvil jump again. Yeah, sometimes with pogoing in this game, those can be some of the trickiest jumps to get right. Oops, no, okay, well. That can be tricky too when your hammer starts sliding. But not to fear, chat, I'm still here. Still on the cliff side. So yeah, you want to go not too fast, but also not too slow. Because I think if you go slowly, like too slowly, on really steep rock faces like this, I think sometimes that will cause the hammer to start to slip. And you don't want that. Okay. So now, yeah, see, if I try my earlier strategy, chat, of just launching myself up there this way, then, yeah, see, oh, see, then that happens. It just goes from bad to worse. Yeah, I should have known that was a bad idea. Oh. And of course, those of you who have played this game will know that one of the difficult moments of it, or not difficult moments, but one of the difficult elements, is that the hammer is always active. So you can easily find yourself just doing a downward spiral of falling down just from like trying to flail around and catch yourself. Sometimes it'll just make you fall all the more. But luckily, I think I can get this. And at every step of the way, I try not to take for granted how strong this guy's arms and core are. He truly is a paragon of fitness. Okay, here we go. Yep. Thanks, both of you. I was explaining earlier today in the library that because of PTSD, my nervous system is messed up, and with it, every system in my body, including immune, hence 2-month-long colds. Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I guess I'm trying to think of something encouraging to say, but perhaps for this, there's nothing to be said except just that we hear you and our thoughts are with you through that difficult experience. But let's see, chat, if I put myself in the right angle here, I think, okay. What makes it so hard is like, I'll pull the mouse back, and it feels like I'm pulling the mouse back hard, but sometimes I just don't really get much air from the pogo jumps. I feel like someone who has a lot of experience in this game could probably tell me what I was doing wrong there, but it honestly is difficult to know sometimes. But I'm better now than I was years ago before I began the right treatment, so I'm hopeful that one day I'll be able to enjoy a better quality of life. Well, I'm hopeful too about that, Tia. Yeah, maybe over time your treatment will continue to progress and things will just keep getting better. I think that would be a wonderful thing. Okay. Yeah, I think, yeah, if I'm just going to try to get like as far as I can over the edge here. And then, yep, there we go. Okay, good. So we've cleared the first hurdle. And there's always more of these jumps than you think there's going to be. There's like 3 or 4 more left. And the bottom, I know you probably can't see it, chat, because of the overlay, and I actually can't see it either, but there is another platform coming up. I think it's a little bit lower than this one is. So I'm just going to try to feel it out. Okay, yep. I knew it was going to be somewhere around there. Okay. And oh no, my hands are already getting sweaty. I'm usually terrible at finding the right words to someone sharing things that hurt them. Yeah, sometimes it can be difficult to know the right thing to say. So I know where you're coming from on that one, Web of Concepts. But one thing that I think is also, that I try to keep in mind when it comes to things like that, is that sometimes the best thing is just to, sometimes you don't have to have something to say. Sometimes just being able to listen is the best thing. And that's something I could probably do better at myself from time to time, but I do at least try to keep that in mind. So now that we have, okay, this jump, I'm really gonna have to sit for a second, chat, and plot my course on this one. Because the thing is, like, this is a fairly substantial gap. And if I pogo, I don't know if I'm gonna make it. Whereas if I just do the other strategy of, like, let's see, if I put myself down here and then just kind of launch myself this way, I think that has a better shot of giving me the horizontal distance that I need. Of course, one potential drawback is that I might end up not getting much vertical distance, and maybe I'll just kind of end up sort of bouncing off the rock face there. But yeah, if it's between that and pogoing, see, these are the difficult decisions that this game forces you to make. Your positive words are like a salve in and of themselves, Ax. I really appreciate it. Oh, well, thank you for letting me know that. I'm glad that they're helpful. Yeah, sometimes I think, you know, I can understand that just like an encouraging word from someone, an encouraging word from a friend can mean a lot. So I'm glad to know that my words have meant something in that vein. But yeah, this, you know, I think I'm going to try it this way, chat. If it doesn't work this way this time, then maybe I'll try it the other way next time. But here we go. They might as well give it a try this way. Okay. Okay, that was good. A little scary there for a moment. But now we have, okay, and I think this was the jump that I think I made it to last time, but I was not able to complete the jump. I think this is the one where I really struggled to get past this jump. Oh yes, the philosophy of getting over it. That's why I try to bring philosophy to every game I play, and this one is no exception. I see you've made some progress. That's right, Magic. I have. You were no longer at the start. Yes. Yeah, I've made some progress at least since. But you never know. I could go back to being at the start at any moment. But anyways, it's good to see you here, Magic. Welcome. So chat, I think I know what I have to do. Well, I mean, of course I have to make this jump, but should I use the same strategy that I used last time of just launching myself over like this way, or should I instead try to pogo over there? I enjoy hearing how methodical you are about this. I think it's what will lead you to success. Thanks. I hope it does. Because this is also one of those jumps where there's a pretty big horizontal distance. And my worry about pogoing is that I just don't know if it's going to give me enough power to cross that gap. Now, if I try it this way of just sort of brute forcing it, I think that has an actual shot. Well, it definitely has a shot of giving me the horizontal distance that I need, but I might find myself ricocheting, you know, off the rock face and back down through the gap. But I think it's the best shot I have, so I'm going to give it a try. So yes, hold me, chat, or I know you can't hold me because you're not here, but like hold me in your hearts, hold me in your minds, pray for me, whatever it is that you would do for someone, do for a friend in a case like this. I'm going to need all of your thoughts and all of your energy if I'm going to make this jump. Okay, so here we go. 3, 2, 1. No. Okay. So that wasn't too good, but could have been worse. Could have been worse. And now we're back here below this cliff face that I spent so much time trying to get past on a previous playthrough. Pro gamer move, yeah. I would brute force it, but I'm not sure what works best for you. Yeah, I mean, the brute forcing might not have been a bad strategy. It might have worked if I just pulled it off a little better. I'll have to see when I get back up there. But I appreciate the well wishes from everyone. The Gambate X Senpai, hold your virtual hand. Yeah, so thank you for and for the expressions of sympathy too. The no F to pay respects. Yeah, if I didn't have you all here helping me through this, I probably would have punched a hole in my monitor by now. As you say, web of concepts, my screen would be broken by now. Yeah, so what makes this part difficult is that I've got the tricky angle and the ice there. I'll have to be off since I need to sleep, but I enjoy the mountain climbing, and when the bad decision comes, someone please convince them to do it. Okay. Well, thanks, Magic, for stopping by, and yeah, I hope you have a good rest. Also, Yuavko, welcome. University is pretty hard. Yes, that it is. Lots of challenges in university. Maybe they're not exactly challenges like this game, but maybe in some ways they are. Maybe the differences between this game and university are not as great as we might at first think. Oh, okay. Yeah, that one I should have known. I didn't have a good angle. But yeah, this, for what it is, it's probably one of the most precise jumps in the game, even though it's not a very long distance. And luckily for this one, like, you don't have a risk of losing out on much if you don't make it. But my hammer just doesn't get any traction on the ice. Really, it's difficult in multiple ways because you have the sort of cliff jutting out there, which affects the angle at which you can jump to it. So your angle... Okay, I was close that time, but not quite. Makes me wonder how the developer tested this game when making it. Because I think if I were doing a jump like this, I think after a certain number of failed attempts, while developing that. I would just assume that the jump isn't possible and that I need to redesign it, but apparently he was able to know somehow that it was possible to make it. I guess he must have gotten pretty good at this game. Okay, chat, so time to focus. Oh, not like that. There's some things about humanities which make me annoyed. It's harder for me to understand their questions, and there is no way to know how good my answer really was beforehand, exceptions notwithstanding. Yeah, that's an expression I know that quite a few people who find themselves identifying more with the sciences, with STEM areas, feel about the humanities, that sometimes there can be, yes, okay, good. No, I was there. I thought I would just go through the hat. I didn't know the hat was going to be an obstacle. I'm sorry, chat. I feel like I let you down. Yeah. Well, if it's any consolation, chat, I guess I let myself down more than anyone else there. But don't worry, we'll get back up. But yeah, Yoavko, I think that with the humanities, I suppose, yeah, there can be that element of uncertainty of not having a mechanical process that, you know, checks every solution. I suppose that's part of what... It's funny because I know some people really like that part of it and others find it frustrating. I guess it's just one of those things that goes to show that everyone's different. Have you played similar games before, such as Jump King and others? I have played Jump King before, though not on stream. But yeah, I haven't really gotten that far in Jump King. I just played it for like a short time, and just to kind of, you know, see what it was like. If I ever beat this game, maybe I'll have to do Jump King. But yeah, as Yoavko said, I did play the game of Sisyphus, which, by the way, was an absolute cakewalk compared to this game. The game of Sisyphus was so easy compared to this. You can't let us down if we never expected anything. Okay, yes, JK. Well, that actually does help me feel better, Web of Concepts, to know that if people weren't expecting anything, maybe that does maybe that does ease the letdown. You don't have to apologize, just don't talk while sweating. Yeah, some of these jumps I might have to pause the chatter on my end for a bit, making them, but I do enjoy talking to you all, though. Also, once you get to the snake, wouldn't it be funny to trust the snake for no reason? Yeah, that would be hilarious. Yeah, for those who haven't played this game before, there's a snake coming up that you have to be kind of careful of, because snakes are sneaky, and this one is no exception. Okay, not quite. I think last time, part of what happened is that I was just... So I didn't want to lose my position on the cliff, that I think I got a little too hasty. Yeah, you were really good at Sisyphus and beat it a lot faster than Karis did. So fair is fair, I guess. I didn't know I beat it faster than Karis did, but that does warm my heart a little bit. And the thing is, I know Karis has played this game at least once, right, on stream. I don't know if he ever beat it, though. But I think I do recall seeing him do a stream of this game once. Maybe it was just a game he decided to stream one time, and then, like, that was enough. Which, if that is his thought on it, if that was his thought on it, then honestly, like, I entirely get it. Nope, not quite. Okay, maybe this time. Nope. See, if the jumps up there, if that last jump in particular did not make you run the risk of getting down here again, it would not be so bad. But this one jump to get past the ice is part of just what makes it so tough. Okay. No, no. Okay. Okay. Sorry, I'm just going to take a second. I'm so relieved. Whew. Okay. That's better. Now that we are here at the anvil again, also known as exactly where we started this stream. Almost, okay. But see, this anvil jump's not too bad if you miss it, because you're not going to lose out on a bunch of progress. Okay. There we go. Then we just go up here. And once we get up here, I think I have a pretty good setup for getting to the top of this cliff. Just have to, yep, do it like that. And then like this. Okay. Yep. The hat. Yes, yes, the hat. W. Oh, thank you, Lotto. I mentioned that Karis was bragging to me that he beat this faster than you, and you said he earned it or something. That's why I said Faire is fair. Oh, you have Sisyphus, he has this. Okay. Oh, so Karis really, I guess he did beat this game then. It sounds like. So yeah, kudos to Karis for beating this game. No, okay, okay, that was scary shit. I decided to do a little twofer there, you know, like a 2-for-1 deal. Sometimes you just gotta give that a try. You'll have moments in this game that are like accidental, you know, accidental speedrun strats. My pride as a gamer is not too great for me to admit that it was, in fact, an accident. Yeah, this one, I think I should also probably use the same strategy there. And if it doesn't end up working out, maybe I can at least bail myself out and push myself as far to the right as possible, so that I'll still be at the anvil at least. Okay, good. Though I wouldn't mind if you were better at both, and Karis was just bad at games. You have? Someone mentioned me? I don't think anyone mentioned you. Oh, like you have sounds like you have? Maybe. I suppose so. Yeah, I mean, I think Karis is... I could definitely believe that he beat... I think he's... Like, he was good at Mario Party, you know? Way better than I was. But, yeah, this last time I tried just sort of what I've been calling the brute force strategy. But this time, maybe I should give pogoing a try. Because pogoing will at least help with the vertical distance. Okay, good, good. That's a solid jump. Okay, please. And there's another jump. See, the jumps, like, they just keep coming. That's what I don't like about this section. Like, at a certain point, surely it's enough. Surely, like, no more. Okay, well, this one, since I'm on higher ground, actually, that is one, I suppose, good thing here. Maybe I can just, you know, launch myself over with this method. So I'm going to need your energy once more, chat. Lend me your good luck, lend me your energy, lend me your thoughts and prayers. Honestly, think you won a roughly equal number of games, like to the ball one. Okay, maybe, yeah, maybe so. Okay, here we go. Okay, okay. All right. Okay, chat, we made it. Oh, yes, and there, for those of you who were wondering about the snake, this is the snake that people were talking about. And as you can see from the sign, we are, in fact, not supposed to ride it. Very bad to ride the snake. But yes, thank you. I see those of you writing nice comments in the chat. Lotto says, I totally believe in you. Nice. Accent by Wasaku. Psycho, yeah, yata. Yeah, no, I'm glad we made it past that. This is the farthest I've gotten in this game. And it's all thanks to you all. It's reverse psychology, just go for it. Ooh, I know, as tempting as it is, I think I'm going to try not to ride the snake. Which is not to say that I won't. I might end up riding the snake by accident. But if I do ride it, it will be by accident. So what happens if you ride it? Yeah, if you ride the snake, well, that's a good question. You get taken on a swift journey back to the very beginning of the game. It skips to the end, trust. I mean, it might skip to the end of the stream, but not to the end of the game. If I end up riding the snake, that might be my cue to end the stream.
It's ambition's opposite. An obdurate mission to taste defeat. You'll feel bad if you win, so I put this snake in for you.
Okay, oh, jeez, this is nerve-wracking. Okay, I'm just trying to see. I'm gonna try to get used to this bucket and how it works. Probably yeets you a million miles away, like the Golem and Sisyphus, or like a Wallmaster in Zelda. Yeah, those are both good comparisons. In fact, I think this one is even a little more brutal than the Golem and Sisyphus, because with the Sisyphus one, and then, okay, yeah, that's how it works. With the Sisyphus one, like it eats the boulder back really far, but not so much like to the beginning. It's like you're still, you've still got some ways to go, unless maybe if you just get like really unlucky with that one. But here with the snake, it is like entirely back to the beginning. Yeah, think about his feelings. He wouldn't have a friend to talk to without you. The snake looks like he's doing just fine to me. I don't think he needs me to talk to. Hey, you could have a famous clip. Yeah, I could. That might be the only good thing that comes of it if I ride the snake. Oh, that was close. Almost wish this platform I'm on were a bit wider. But I guess we can't always have what we want, can we? Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oops. Yeah, I think this is the first challenge in the game that involves kind of a moving object like the bucket. But look how cute the snake is. Okay, it is kind of cute. I will agree with that. But all the same, I am not of a mind to ride it. Okay, that was a little closer for comfort than I would have liked. A little too close for comfort. Okay. Yeah, because like earlier I had a pretty good grip on the bucket, but ever since then it's been a little trickier. Okay, oh well. Almost had it that time. Yep, almost had it. Just have to... Oh, that's right. Yeah, so my guy, if I launch up right underneath the bucket, he'll hit it. Oh. Or sometimes that can happen. Yeah, get comfortable, chat. We might be here for a while. But I do think this is the last major area of the game, I'm pretty sure. Maybe the bucket needs to be still. Yeah, maybe so, but I'm going to try not to have to wait a whole bunch. Because if I have to wait a whole bunch, then it gets maybe a little bit frustrating. I'm an impatient man sometimes. This is reminding me of when Kira drew you as Sasuke from Naruto, who's associated with snakes. Ooh. So this ties all into the lore, into the fan art. I like it. Some might say it's cruel to deprive the snake of companionship, but I'll see myself out. Yeah, I mean, the snake to me looks like he's doing fine. But if I do end up riding the snake, maybe I will. The only consolation I have might be that I've at least provided something of a companion for the snake. And then we said Karis will be Naruto and I Sakura for a full Philosophy version of Team 7. Oh, nice. Yeah, I'm actually not super familiar with Naruto, but I just know the basics of what it is, and yeah, it's cool, I think, if we match up with the characters. Yeah, I'm a little... Yeah, that particular grip on the bucket, it's a little bit too close to the edge for me. Ideally, I would like one that's a little bit closer to the center. Okay, not quite there, but close. See, once I get on the bucket, I think I'm going to have to go to the left and up that rock wall. Okay. And you'll notice the hammer seems to get closer and closer to the edge. Oh, yep. So that's why you got to be careful with this bucket. You can't just keep swinging on it indefinitely. Pretty sure there's videos about the snake being bad where AI deepfakes. Oh, no, dang it. Okay. Yeah, now the bucket's going crazy. There's a smear campaign against snakes. Well, that's quite a theory, Web of Concepts. Yeah, I hadn't considered that one. But guess we might find out in a moment if I end up accidentally going over there. Okay. Actually, what if I... Can I reposition my grip like this? If I try to just rest on it for a bit. Or maybe have it like that. Like going all the way around. Jeez, it's tough. I don't think the game wants you to... Okay. Yeah, it's like it's trying to resist me. Oh, there we go. Okay. I should get a little achievement for this. Isn't he cute in his bucket on top of a bucket? This is like his happy place, you know. This is where he likes to go to just pause and reflect. Okay. Not a bad first attempt. Not a bad first attempt. Naruto gets made fun of by everyone. Sakura is fiery and obsessed with Sasuke. Sasuke is cool and good at everything. So there are a lot of parallels. So the red... Oh, the red, yellow, blue color scheme. That's a good thought. I hadn't thought of that. But yeah, with... I could see the Karis Naruto parallel now. Okay. Oh, and Sakura being fiery. Okay, yeah. Well, thanks. I appreciate that you said you said I'm like oh, that's right. Yeah, Sasuke. Well, if he's cool and good at everything, then I'll definitely take that. So, thank you. Yeah, I should probably give it a watch at some point because I know that's like one of the classics. And it really wasn't until relatively recently that I've seen like some of the other, you know, anime classics. Like up until a few months ago, I hadn't really seen much, if any, of Yu-Gi-Oh! And suddenly I caught quite a few of the episodes of it on on certain YouTube streams. He also has an interesting backstory. Okay. Ooh, now I'm double intrigued about this character. Oh, that time I actually felt like I had a good grip on it. The game should have given me that one. Do you know One Piece? I know of One Piece. I've not seen it, but I know like the premise and some of the characters, and that it's a very, very long running show. Lots and lots of episodes. What do you think? Should I watch it? Should I try to... Ooh, here we go. Here's a good one. Should I try to master One Piece? Okay. Ooh, jeez. Oh, okay. No. Okay. Can you believe that, chat? That I'm all the way back here now? I actually crossed the gap from the bucket on the other side. Okay, this is scary, chat, but we're gonna try to do this again. Oh, no. You know, the slightest jiggle of the mouse can have catastrophic consequences. He's also emo and betrays the village and learns to summon snakes as part of his villain arcs. Hopefully that part doesn't apply. Ooh. Might have to add some snake summoning abilities to my repertoire. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. Okay, yeah, I've heard good things about it. So, might have to give One Piece a try sometime soon. Look wants you back where it's safe. Ooh, yeah, safe, like away from the snake. Okay. I don't know if... Actually, I'm going to try to bring myself a little bit closer. Because now I feel like that will help me get the distance that I need. All right, here we go, chat. Time number 2 on the attempt. Okay. Okay. All right. I think wants you back where it's safe. Naruto, not One Piece. Oh, so... Oh, never mind. I wasn't paying attention. Okay. Sorry. No worries. Yeah, I think that... I mean, yeah, I know One Piece and Naruto are both kind of part of the classic, so to speak. Even though, like, One Piece is still ongoing. And probably always will be. Right. So... No harm done, chat. I'm back here with our friend the snake and the bucket. Yeah, last time I think I was just wobbling a little bit too much on the bucket, maybe. It's cool that you caught up with some Yu-Gi-Oh! I won't ask you to do the same with Naruto since it's 500 episodes. But Leon and I watched it all and had a blast. Wow, that is a lot of episodes. I might have to watch like an abridged version if they have one. But I was curious to hear a dissection of Berserker and Evangelion. Okay. Yeah, those are two that I also... have not seen. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking, you know, there's really a lot of anime I haven't seen. I'm maybe maybe embarrassing myself as a VTuber here with how little anime I've seen, but Berserker and Evangelion, okay. Well, if I do watch those, I will I'll have to dissect them on stream then, Luddle, and let you know. I could see that being a fun stream. Just the, like, you know, philosophy of anime. I've actually yet to watch Evangelion, but it's on my watch list. Okay, well, that makes me feel a little better. I'm not the only one who hasn't seen it. I saw that one grandpa crying after reading the manga of Berserker. Oh, so it's like a sad anime then. It's called Berserk? Okay. Yeah, I think I've heard of that one too, that I'm really not as familiar with the premise as with some of the others. But... now that the fact that it's been mentioned here makes me curious to see what it might be like. And yeah, thanks for the clarification on the name of it, Yoav. I suppose if there is, like, if I searched Berserker and something else came up then maybe I would be led down that path instead. I don't know if there is a show called Berserker, but it would be funny if there's one called Berserker and one called Berserk, and like people were constantly getting confused about them. You've watched Madoka, though. I have. Have you seen Death Note? No, I have not seen Death Note, but I've like a lot of the others. I'm sort of familiar with the premise. And okay, okay, sorry. Yeah, that's scary when you start slipping off the bucket like that. The one the grandpa cried about. Oh, yeah, I forget. Berserk is the greatest manga ever. On all websites, it has the highest rating. Okay, wow. So it must be pretty good then. Okay, it has some philosophical stuff to it too. Okay, I'd probably like it then. So I think probably the best setup is for me to just... Okay, well... Yeah, I think given the incline of the ground, it's a little hard not to launch my dude into the bucket. Like, I'm trying to launch him to the left of the bucket and then just catch onto it with my hammer. See, like that. But then I'm going to try to see if I can reposition. Because ideally, my hammer would be like in the center of the bucket. But I don't know if there's a way of getting it reliably to the center. Okay. Yeah, like whichever side I'm on, it's going to it's going to wobble the other way. Yeah, I think okay, yeah. I'm just gonna bail out of that attempt. Gonna have to pause for a moment, think over my strategy. The Berserker thing is kind of like this game, I think, except less miserable and more bloody. Okay. Yeah, lots of things are less miserable and bloodier than this game, so I could see that. Clay takes inspiration from existentialist philosophy and some weird-ass Jungian stuff and some religious stuff too, lots of Nietzsche stuff. Okay. I see, those are some good influences for something to have. If you want to watch Death Note, the first 2 episodes are a great introduction to dip your toes. Some of the greatest first episodes of a show I've seen. Okay, wow. Well, yeah, I think given that, in light of that, I think it sounds like a show that is at the very least worth a try for just about anyone. Because if a show has a strong, opening, I think that counts for a lot. The bucket is mathematically impossible, I heard. Might as well try the snake. Web of concept. What is it with you and the snake? Does the snake like have you on commission or something? Like whoever rides the snake, you get like paid a certain amount by the snake. I'm starting to get a little suspicious here. Not gonna lie. Death Note isn't that long and is well paced. Yeah, okay. Yeah, the well paced is a crucial part of a good anime too. It's one of the typical animes to recommend for beginners. For a reason. Okay, I see. No comment. Ooh, yeah, no. No comment. That's what they all say when they're guilty. Mm. All right. Yeah, this bucket, I'm sure, has been the downfall of many a player of this game. And what I want to make sure I don't do is get cocky and end up losing everything. Because that would truly be a tragedy. A tragedy of epic proportion. Oh, sorry, dude, I just hit his head on the bucket. He's probably mad at me right now. Because that probably hurt. But it's okay. I mean, this guy's obviously pretty tough, so I feel like he can take it, whatever it is. Okay, just have to time it right. Okay, I think that was pretty good. And here we are, Jet. We're back to this. I made it last time. I hate that I keep bringing myself back here though, because it's so scary each time. It's like, will this be the time? Will this be the moment that I lose it all? No. Okay. Okay. It's all right. It's all right. We'll just pogo myself off this bush here, and then I think I recognize. Oh, look, there's even the hat. The hat came to say hello. Told you it's impossible. Oh yeah, maybe I should have taken your advice to ride the snake, huh? Yeah, once you start swinging, like really swinging on the bucket, the placement of the axe becomes hard to predict. That's the and then this jump too. Like if I could get more reliable at this jump, it wouldn't be quite so bad having to go back to this point. But I think I'm actually a lot more reliable at the anvil jump than I am at this one. It's okay, Senpai, you're learning. Well, thank you, Tia. Justice for Snake. Well, luckily we have Justice here with us in the chat, so I don't know if you have any thoughts on that, Tia, on if there's any justice that the snake needs, but I get the feeling the snake isn't too bothered by our predicament. Snake seems like a pretty stoic fella. We need Snake to be part of the lore along with Utility-kun. I think if the snake was a part of the lore with Utility-kun, the snake would probably get eaten by Utility-kun pretty quickly. So might not end up working out too well for the snake, but at least Utility-kun would be happy. Be happy at the extra sacrifice. Good night. Oh, okay. Good night, Uav. Hope that you have a nice rest of the evening wherever you are, and perhaps your evening will be less frustrating than with me playing this game. It's the only reason I'm awake right now is because I'm in a war zone. Oh, I see. Well, sorry to hear that, Uav. Best of luck with staying safe. That's surely the only reason, yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's a very understandable reason. Yeah, Snake would be like Utility-kun's spaghetti. Yeah, the spaghetti is a nice touch. I hadn't thought of how Utility-kun might actually view or eat the snake, but yeah, I think probably spaghetti is a solid call there. Yes, and here, of course, yeah, the main challenge is the slipperiness of the ice and the awkward angle of the jump. I was a little close that time, but see, if every jump were like these ones to get up here, like where I am right now, then it wouldn't be so bad. But it's when you get to this one, it's like, oh, geez. Wait, is it established that eating non-human animals also increases the utility monster's utility? Like maybe less? Kind of is pronounced with the other pronunciation. Oh, like kun? Utility-kun? Or Utility-kun? So I'm not very good at pronouncing the Japanese words. But, yeah, does it like, yeah, does eating non-human animals increase? Oh, okay, good. Does it increase his utility? I don't think... Yeah, that's a good question. I hadn't really thought of it before. I mean, I just assumed since eating humans increases his utility, so does increase eating non-human animals. But yeah, the way I like to think of it that is probably the most intuitive is, yeah, maybe it increases his utility at least somewhat, but maybe a little bit less than with humans. Ooh, first try on the anvil jump. Nice. Okay. And then, oh, what? I don't know what that was. Okay, let's give this another try. Oh, no. Okay. No biggie. No harm done. All right, just have to get back up to where I was. And then we have this awful series of jumps again coming up. If I could just get up there. Yeah, the one piece of good news throughout all this is that I do seem to have become at least somewhat reliable at the anvil jump, which was a jump that gave me a lot of trouble at one point. So I'm glad to know that that is no longer the case. But yeah, sometimes the movement does, or maybe this is just me complaining and like, you know, old man yells at cloud, but sometimes the movement does feel a little inconsistent with the mouse. Like I'll jerk the mouse down, but it doesn't actually move that fast in the game. Okay, that time it at least moved a bit faster. There we go. Okay. We leveling up? I like to think so. At least I sure hope so. Because now we're on the really tough part again. Oh, dang it. Okay. I should have waited on that one. I think I got a little bit too impatient. As I probably did there too. So just gonna sit here on the edge. Okay, not quite. And yeah, you're right, Yoav. That is what Nozick said about the utility monster. So Nozick is someone that I guess not a lot of people outside of philosophy who haven't studied academic philosophy know him, but he really was a wide-ranging philosopher. Like it's super impressive. Like his contributions to epistemology and ethics and so on. Like I have several of his books. They're not all books that I've read, at least not in their entirety, but Philosophical Explanations is one of his books that is not quite as well known as some of his others. Like Anarchy, State, and Utopia is probably his most well-known book, where he goes into his libertarian political philosophy. Oh, did you see that, chat? That was cool. I did not intend it to do that way, but yes, sometimes, you know, I just like to do it fancy like that, just for you all. Have you seen the game that is almost identical except you climb free-handed? I have seen it. I haven't played it, but yeah, I think it's called a difficult game about climbing. I think it's the title of that one, and yeah, it looks like it was either, I don't know if it was the same developer, it might be, but at the very least it seems to have been inspired by this game. Oh, no, okay. Okay, not quite. Not quite, but it was a good attempt. Yeah, maybe I'll have to play that game on stream at some point. Utility-kun watches over you. I'd like to think so. If he does watch over me, it's just because he sees me as a snack and wants to eat me when he gets a chance. But have no fear, I shall not let him. I shall remain vigilant. Okay. First hurdle in the bag. So now second one. Okay. That's pretty good. And then this is the one where I think I decided to, yeah, pogo. Oops, no. Oh, I accidentally, my mouse jiggled. Oh, this game. Okay. See, it wouldn't be so bad if you didn't have this cliff here. It's just the same cliffside every time. I really admire people who can play this game to such an extent and become so good at it they can do, you know, consistent setups even for a jump like this. The nice thing about being an orb of light is you can escape from his mouth as soon as he opens it. True. Yes, if it weren't for that, I would have been forever sacrificed into his maw many times in the past. After you take the snake, we should watch the #1 speedrun of this game. Yeah, I have seen, I don't think it was the #1 speedrun, but I have seen a speedrun of this game once, or maybe it was at one time the #1, and yeah, it's insane what some people can do. Like, being able to beat this game in a minute, or even, I think it might even be sub-minute by now. Like, that is just such a feat of gaming. Well, that was a really high jump. It is just such a feat of gaming skill that I don't know if I can fully describe, I think, how much skill that involves. It also makes me wonder if there's potential for a game like this that, you know, is it the same style of game, same movement and mechanics, but is maybe not a rage game? Like, it's just a little bit easier, and where it's not, you know, there's no like risk of constantly losing your progress. Something more like in the style of Celeste, where like it's difficult, but it's like constantly autosaves, so like you can do each room again. If you die on a given room, you don't have to go back farther than like the start of that particular room or that particular screen. I could see something like that working pretty well for a game with these mechanics. I think the record is about 40 seconds. Okay, wow. So they've, in that case, progressed quite a bit farther, even than the speedrun I saw. Yeah, that truly is insane. It's so frustrating because like sometimes I can see like my hammer gets somewhat of a grip, but then sometimes there's just no way to capitalize on it. Or at least if there is, it's not obvious. It's tough to see exactly if there's a way to salvage it. Okay, that time my angle was a little too extreme. No, it started bouncing. Okay, I might be at this part for a while. That makes you the ideal keeper of Utility-kun. If you think about it, I could theoretically do it since my divine soul is anathema to his eldritch nature. But I have my butterfly to think of. Oh, yes. Yeah, no butterfly is safe in the presence of Utility-kun. So that is very, very considerate of you, Tia. I know I can do this jump chat. It's just... it's just... Oh, okay. Oh. Now I'm getting sloppy now. Okay. No, I'm getting worse at the game. Okay, here we go. Utility-kun would never hurt anyone. Stop this blasphemy. Well, I'm sure it would make him very happy. It would increase his utility to know that he has such a fan in you, Web of Concepts. Okay, good, good. Okay. All right. I'm not even touching the anvil, but somehow I'm still resting on it. So at least now we're back at the anvil, which is a significantly better place to be than under that ice cliff. Yep. Because, yeah, this part, you know, somewhat decent at. Okay. So now, yep, I think I'm going to go for the usual setup. Just try to pogo. Quit gaslighting the butterfly, their tears and quivering say otherwise. Oh, yeah, it's a web of concept. Yeah, the only thing I can say to... Well, if butterflies can, like, fly away, then maybe that helps them get away from Utility-kun. I could see that being a useful way of escaping his jaws, escaping his maw. Okay, good. So, yeah, for this one, let's see. I think I can move myself just slightly closer to the edge. Okay. Now, if I pogo, yep, should be able to make it. Okay, good. And then this one, yeah, I think I pogoed for this one last time too. We'd better not assign utility setting duty to Karis either. I don't think he has any defense. Yeah, he probably doesn't. I mean, maybe best case scenario, Parrot might defend him a little bit, but or else Parrot would just fly away and forget about him. Who knows? Okay, that was good. Good. Just one more. One more of these godforsaken jumps before I'm back to the bucket. And for some reason, this is always the one that makes me the most nervous. I guess because if I fail this one, then I lose the most progress. Okay. Okay. As long as I can get my axe there and just kind of let it, you know, hang for a moment, then usually that means I'm pretty good to go. Okay, there we go. Whew. What was the second name of Chair's guy? I think it started with an E. I think Euphranor is what you're thinking. Karis Euphranor. Yes, the first and last philosopher VTuber. Though we're currently in a Karis drought, not to worry, chat. He will come back to streaming someday, I'm sure. Once he gets his internet and moving situation all settled in. His name is Cherry Eucalyptus. I could see that being like his long lost brother or something, you know? Sounds about right. Yeah, maybe this is the start of a new bit of lore for Karis here. Actually, now that I think, if Karis had a brother, yeah, what would he be like? Maybe he'd be like someone who's really practical, you know, and not all into philosophy, but like can do practical things like home repair or working in a garden. I suppose I could see that. Okay, now that I'm with the bucket again, I can't get careless here, chat. I can't let myself lose all the progress that I've made. Ooh, okay, this is really good positioning on the hammer, I think. Even though it's starting to... Okay. I just didn't want to like fall off the cliff on that one. I actually stole that joke from a random chatter in his debut. Oh, okay, well. I'm sure that random chatter would be glad to know that the joke lives on. You got this. So thank you. Thank you a lot. I appreciate that. See, I'm trying to not let it fall too far, like slip off toward the edge, but just like by its very nature, when you swing to one side, it starts slipping. Yeah, I think I'm gonna abandon this run. Okay, there we go. Are you not just projecting Axbro onto other people's theoretical siblings? I mean, probably, yeah, to a large extent. But the thing is, like, if I imagine Karis's brother as someone who's like also into philosophy and like is also, I don't know if he'd be like a librarian of Alexandria or involved with Alexandria in any way, but it's just somehow I just can't help myself from imagining like two Karises, and that just seems so weird. But who knows? Perhaps that's what it would be if Karis did have or does have a brother. Yeah. The more I think about this case that I'm in now, chat, or this predicament with this bucket, I think what I have to do is like start swinging on it, but then like don't swing too long, which is what makes it hard, because normally in a game like this, I like to like take my time and really plan and things. But if you do that while you're swinging on the bucket, your hammer is going to slip off and you're going to go flying into the void. So like once you start swinging on the bucket, you have to like be pretty decisive. Let's see, so swing this way. Oh. Okay, come on. Okay. See, things like that can happen. Although that time I didn't wait too long, but I think I just maybe swung a little too hard. Yeah, I think that was my flaw that time, was that I swung too hard. Yeah, one Karis is enough for the world. I don't really want to speculate about his family situation out loud, as we know it's complicated. Well, what I want to say is I think if Karis had a brother, and here I'm not even necessarily thinking IRL, but just like if that became part of like the VTuber lore, then I'd be like super curious and be like, hey, like what's up, like Karis bro. I mean, it would be strange at first, but you know, it would be I think it would be really funny. Like I would just mostly be like really curious. Okay. Almost, almost. Okay. So maybe one more round on the swinging. Oh, that was close. Ooh, he even looked back at the snake too. You know, see if I'm just gonna push myself off the snake. I do not want to ride the snake. And that can happen all too easily in this part of the game if you're not careful. So close. Yeah, I know you were hoping for that to happen, Web of Concepts. I'm sorry to disappoint you. It might still happen at some point, but not that time, at least. Did you hear that he likes wearing a custom-made silver watch he received from his father, a professional watchmaker? Fits really well with his time lore. Ooh, I did not know that. But that is pretty cool. Yeah, it does seem very, very fitting. Very fitting for him. So I don't know if the strategy is going to help at all, but somehow I'm experimenting with seeing if I can like go on top of the bucket to get to where I need to go. Yeah, it's a little bit... Felt like I didn't have quite good enough of a grip on it that time. But that's okay. That's what we're here for. It's all part of the experimentation, all part of the process of learning how to go about it. Oh, no. Yeah, wish there were like an easy way to stop the bucket when it's swinging like that. Or maybe if I just, oops, no. Okay. Yeah, if I just jump up in its path, then I guess that at least comes close to stopping it. Yeah. Close, but no cigar. Okay. I was thinking I might go for it that time, but isn't that snake looking more and more appealing? No, not to me. The snake to me looks just as unappealing as it always has. But I'm sure the snake is glad to know that it's looking more appealing to all of you. Okay, just have to... Oh. Totally missed it there, but that's okay. Yeah, if you ever find yourself in this situation, chat, where you're trying to make it on top of a bucket using just a hammer and a cauldron, I would recommend maybe like pausing for a bit and sort of like, you know, rethinking some of your life choices. Sorry. I just need a second after that one, chat. Okay. It was a little too close for comfort. But the snake is so sad and alone. No, it's got me. I'm still right here, like a few feet from it. So I think the snake is fine. It's not alone. All of you. I don't even like snakes. Okay, sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said all of you, but many of you, or at least some of you. They're kind of cool in Naruto, and that's about it. Yeah, I know that was close. Sorry for anyone I gave a heart attack to. If it's any consolation, I gave an equally or larger heart attack to myself. Ooh, that was kind of cool. Okay. So yeah, if I hit the ceiling on that part, then that's kind of the end of my jump there. I can't swing too far to where I hit the ceiling. X implies so skilled. Oh, thank you. X doing everything he can not to get Mr. Snake's help to the end. That's right, Mr. Snake. I appreciate your offer to help, but this is just, it's one of those things I have to do on my own, you know? But thank you for understanding. I know, Mr. Snake, you want to help, but some things in life just got to do on your own. But on a positive note, I think that last time I actually had a really good start to the swing. And I think I discovered a means by which I can even reposition my Axaeon. Like if I just do it like that, but like better. Because I managed to do it the other time. Then maybe that can help me out here. I didn't know propaganda was censored. My message about anti-snake propaganda didn't send. Ooh. Sorry that we missed it. Now I'm curious to hear what it said. We saw enough of its body just then to know it works like snakes and ladders. Snakes and ladders. Oh, is that what they call the game in Canada? Because I remember when I was a kid, there was a board game I used to play called Chutes and Ladders. I guess Snakes and Ladders is probably the same thing. Or maybe like one of them's the Canadian version, one of them's the American version. But I do remember having some good times with that game. But yeah, I think you're right, Tia. That's exactly how it works here. Still occasionally think back to those scientists unable to figure out how to build a bed. Lives rent-free in my head. You know, I've been considering... It's funny that you bring that up, Web of Concepts. I've been considering going back to that game to see if it's any better. I know they've done some patches for it. Because I played it on like the first or second day after it had released. So maybe they fixed some of those elements of it. But yeah, that's... Like that was truly egregious. Like who made that decision in the game to have that be like the first major hurdle in the game? Not, you know, encountering a new race of aliens or having like a giant like exciting space battle or anything cool like that, but no, like building enough beds and like figuring out, like doing the research, like multiple weeks of research to figure out how to build beds while not having like enough materials to build said beds. Yeah, not exactly a good call on that one. Okay, that's... So those of you who were saying I should ride the snake, I briefly rode it for a second there. Like the bottom of my cauldron was kind of on its head and I was like riding on top of its head. So you should be satisfied now. I think that counts as riding the snake. I think they're just alternate versions of the same game, I see. Like my cousin had Chutes and Ladders, but I thought Snakes and Ladders was more common. Yeah, it might be. Yeah, I can't speak to which one is more common. Oh my god. Yeah, I know that one, that was kind of a close call there, Tia. Stop teasing Axe. Take Mr. Snake's offer. I'm such a tease when it comes to snakes. I just can't help myself, you know. It's part of my nature. I wonder, is there a snake romance game? Because I played the pigeon romance game on stream already. And the monster romance game. Maybe I need maybe the snake one is the one I need to try next, if there is one. Okay, come on. Yeah, that was pretty good. Oh, oh. Not quite. Oh, no, okay, wait, we're gonna stop falling and get back up to where we were. That is the plan. Yes, yes. And the thing is, chat, once I get up this bucket area, it's really not that far until the end of the game. Like, the end is actually like pretty close. It's just there's some really, really, really hard jumps and climbs in between. Wait, are you guys talking about how the Star Trek stream went? I couldn't make that stream. What's this about beds? Yeah, Tia, it was not the best stream in terms of how the game experience went, but apparently people found it funny to watch, and so the content was still good, which is really I guess the main thing. So I was happy about that. But the game itself was really not that good, or at the very least, it was not in a very good condition yet to play. Again, they might have fixed it by this point with some patches and things that have made some of the resource management issues a bit more feasible. But yeah, the issue that I ran into while playing the new Star Trek Voyager game on that particular stream was that the main like hurdle that you are presented with early in the game is that your crew doesn't have enough beds. Like a lot of areas of the ship have been kind of damaged or destroyed. And you're trying to like rebuild, and so like one of the things you have to do is, okay, like we need to build like beds, we need to build quarters for the crew. And to do that, you have to find a certain, I forget exactly what it was called. It started with a D, but like a certain resource that lets you build things and research things. And there wasn't really enough of the resource. Like you were sort of locked into playing into this particular solar system, and there's only so much of it that you can find. And like once if you use that resource on like other things, like weapon systems and upgrading your shields, then you don't have enough to build the beds. And if you don't build the beds, then your crew eventually mutinies. And the thing is, you can't just build the beds immediately. You actually have to spend resources for your science team to like research how to build beds. And it takes them like 2 weeks of in-game time to figure out how to build the beds. And it was just so ridiculous. And eventually, like I'd run out of resources because there was nowhere else I could go to. And I didn't have enough to build the beds, and so eventually my crew mutinied, and that was the end of the game. And yeah, that was my first and so far only experience with that particular game. Yeah, Axe's dictatorship got overthrown for not having enough resources to build a bed. Yeah, that's a nice way of like putting it in a nutshell, basically. That sounds so insane out of context. WTF, what is this, Minecraft? Like they have FTL and can't build a freaking bed. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying during the stream, and I think what everyone was sort of thinking, that it was just really bizarre. And I looked it up later, or apparently someone in chat looked it up, and like I wasn't the only one who ran into that issue. Like there were definitely some commenters on the internet noting some resource management issues. But yeah, that was definitely one. Low-key one of my favorite streams, but it was probably the worst for Axe. Yeah, I mean, it was, I guess, a stream that was apparently it was somewhat funny to watch me go through that. So I'm glad people found some amusement in it. Maybe in some ways, perhaps not too different from this stream. It's like watching me face a frustrating situation. Nope. So I could see where that was going. And yeah, what I actually don't know what happens is if you ride the snake, I know what happens, but like if you fall down below the snake in that area to the left, but down below it, I don't know actually if you go back to the beginning of the game then, or like just how much progress you lose. It's probably a substantial amount, but maybe not quite as bad as riding the snake. Shame that the game design was poor. Sounds like a letdown. At least it made for great content. Thanks for filling me in. Yeah, and I do want to be like, to be fair to the game, it might have just been a thing of like, you know, not having it very well balanced, the economy of the game well balanced in terms of what you could do in like the first day or so after the game released. They might have fixed it by now, and honestly, like, it seems like it was a pretty easy, or would have been a pretty easy thing to fix. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's significantly better now. I might have to go back and give it another chance. Let's not test it out. Oh yeah, the below the snake area. Yeah, I'm gonna try not to test it out. Might end up testing it out against my will here, but we'll just have to see on that one. This bucket is like the top of it is a little bit slippery than you'd expect too, because normally my hammer seems to have such good friction against almost every other surface. But maybe this is like a butter bucket, you know, and it has lots of butter on the outside. Maybe that's what's stopping me from getting a good grip on it. I think swinging on the bucket is a lost cause. Well, okay, then what would you recommend, Web of Concepts? Well, I know what your answer is going to be. It's going to be ride the snake, but are there any other recommendations you have? Because I can tell you now, if I rode the snake, I think I would still be dealing with the ramifications at this very moment. I'd be like stuck in the first area of the game again. Nope. No. Yeah, see, that's always the danger. When you're swinging on the bucket, you might get launched straight into the snake. Okay. I remember when you made the joke about slipping the princess's wrist through the shackle with butter and slay the princess. Good times. Oh, I'd forgotten about that. You have a better memory than I do, Tia. Yeah, there's nothing quite like, you know, butter is just one of those things that brings everyone together, doesn't it? Like, even if you don't eat butter, because maybe you're a vegan, just, you know, the idea of butter, like, everyone understands, like, what butter is, what it does. Okay, but chat, I think now we need to also think about the slightly longer term future. Because, like, once I'm swinging on the bucket, obviously I'm trying to get up to that left area. But I wonder, is it possible to pogo off the bucket? Probably not. I think it's too far away, or it might be a little too hard to do well. But I'd like to think maybe it's worth thinking of alternative strategies here. One day, Axe, one day you will take the snake's kind offer, whether you like it or not. That's a little ominous. Oh, now I'm like looking over my shoulder, like, oh no, is Web of Concepts gonna come up behind me and like force me to take the snake's offer? I never would have thought of that, so I kind of attribute your mind constantly going to it. You're being a southerner. Ooh, maybe so. Yeah. Maybe the southern mind just knows and understands things like butter. Okay. Okay. We're gonna pause here for a moment, chat. This was an important moment there. Oh, okay. See, so maybe swinging on the bucket wasn't a lost cause, although I shouldn't speak too soon. Impossible. Ooh, I think it's very possible. Web of concepts. Okay, now do I use this to get up that way? My father-in-law actually hates butter and is not vegan or allergic or anything, but he has really bad food takes. Okay, interesting. Yeah, bad. I mean, butter, like whoever you are, like it's hard to admit that butter doesn't at least taste good. Congrats. Thank you. Ooh, watch out now. Yeah, I know. I am so nervous now. I don't even know if I can. Okay, yeah. So I can't just climb up directly on that thing. The slope is too steep. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I think... Oh, I thought I had some water up here with me, but I guess not. I was going to take a water break, but that's okay. So I wonder, should I try to pogo across the entire thing? If I try to pogo across the entire thing, I feel like it's a big gap, and I don't think I can make it from pogoing. At least not from just pogoing like diagonally across it. But I think one thing I can do, or at least try, is that if I pogo straight up and then try to launch myself, like push my hammer against the wall and then launch myself to the right. Perhaps that is my only way of getting past this. No one who has drank water has lived forever. Water is bad. Oh, yes. Can't deny that argument. He thinks butter is unhealthy, but drinks like a liter of pop a day. So, oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, that is a pretty bad food take, to be fair. Yeah, so if I... Okay, I know. If I launch straight up and then I use the slope surface over here, the one that my hammer's now touching, I use that to try to launch myself further. So this is probably not going to work, chat, because it's my first time doing it, but we'll see. All I can do is give it a try, and at the very least, that should give me some good data for the next time. So here we go. Oh, no, dang it. Okay, I see. When I jump up, I have to swing my hammer around from the right to the left, not from the left to the right, because otherwise it gets stuck. Okay, so I was not up there for a long time, but at the very least, that was something. Yeah, I didn't have a good grip on it that time. But now we know what's up there, at least. Yeah, it does not look like an easy jump I'll have to face that next round. Oh, wow. Did you see that, chat? Oh, okay. Did not quite make it, but I think I'm getting a little bit better at swinging on the bucket. Just, you know, slightly better. But I swear, if and I say if very intentionally because I don't know if I'll be able to do it or have the will or motivation to do it, but if I do beat this game on stream, that'll be quite a moment. But yeah, it's one of those games where when you're playing it, all you can think about is like, hey, won't it be so good to stop playing this game? You've all had experiences like this, chat. I trust you. You get it. You know what it's like. Okay. Oh, not quite. Yeah, I think maybe I got a little impatient on that time. Yeah, sometimes, even for seasoned players, it can be difficult not to succumb to the allure of impatience. But patience is a must when playing this game. Okay, yes. Sometimes, like, you think you're about to gear up for a big swing, and then you just end up, you know, falling off at the edge. I have this game and quit not long after starting, so I get it. Okay, well, that makes me feel a little less alone. The fact that you get it, Lottle. So thank you for letting me know that. If you beat the game on stream, I'll give you a kiss, and so will Karis. If you'd prefer something else, let me know. Yeah, well, see, a kiss from you and Karis. Yeah, like, I mean, hard to beat that. I'm not sure if I'm trying to think like what else could compete with that. Maybe if you add like Butterfly to the mix. And we'll just go ahead and add Utility-kun to the mix too, and it'll be like everyone's involved. And Parrot, of course. Yeah, Parrot's got to be involved too. If you can withstand the curse of Chair's kiss. Non-monogamy is showing. That, I suppose it is. Okay, yeah, that time did not have much hope on that time. It's all about your starting position here. And the grip of it. Okay, yes. No, okay. But yeah, the thing is, like, I really don't care too much about how many times it takes, just as long as I don't lose everything. But it's almost like a biblical parable, you know, the one who's afraid of losing everything in this game is perhaps the one who is most likely to lose it in the end. Like, maybe this is my trial of Job in this game. Okay. Ah, almost. I guess, yeah, you don't really have to swing that far on it to be in reach of that platform. So that's good. Maybe you can not have to feel like, you know, you have to swing a huge amount. If you did have to, that would make it even harder. Okay, not quite there. Slipped off. Okay, just gonna wipe my hands a bit. Oh, Zero, hello. Hey, Axaeon, glad to see you're further along this time. Indeed, I am. But you never know. I could end up losing everything here in the next few seconds. Some people, just to catch you up a little bit, Zero, on how it's been going, some people in the chat, like Web of Concepts, have been telling me I should ride the snake. But I see right through that. I am not going to fall for that trick. But they are persistent, though. They see, you can tell. Yeah, Web says, Zero, tell Axe to try the snake. I know what's going to happen if I ride the snake. I've seen people play this game before. No, you totally should, though. Okay, tell me, Zero. Yeah, why should I ride the snake? Ooh, nice. Okay, that was kind of cool. I liked that way of getting up there. So if I pogo, because it's fun, it's a shortcut, I heard. Yeah, the only thing it's going to be a shortcut to is the end of the stream, because I don't think my patience can handle that. I still have your best interests in mind, X. Okay, thank you, Tia. Because it's fun. Yeah, well, I mean, it might be a fun ride, like, when you're actually riding the snake, but the destination that you arrive at will not be fun. Okay, so chat, I'm going to try my previous strategy again and pogo, and then see if I can, like, a double pogo, basically, is what this is. Ah, okay. Well, it didn't quite work then, but still, I think that was slightly better than last time, which is the most you can hope for when you're getting better on strategy like this. Ah. Oh, okay. I was pushing in the bucket really far that time. Axe will never listen to reason, it seems. Oh, I know. It's so sad. If only I would ride the snake, then everyone would be happy. But when it comes to snake riding, I tend to leave that to the people who want to keep playing this game for the rest of eternity and never make it to the end. Nope, no. No, just get your hammer on the thing, on the bucket. Okay, so here we go. Oh, no. Be great if I could find like a reliable setup for getting on this bucket, kind of like I did with the anvil jump earlier. Remember the anvil jump, chat? Feels like so long ago. So long ago that we were back there. We've made it so far since then. Oh, okay, no. Yeah, every time I get even just like a little close to the snake, I get so scared. Because that snake, you know, it looks like it wants me to, you know, take a ride. It's like, why else would it be staying here just looking at me like that? But I will heed the sign. Every time I hold my breath. Oh, yes. Yeah, I know you're holding your breath for it, Web of Concepts. In anticipation. Ooh, yes. Oh, no, okay. Gonna take this one slow. Yeah, I think the easiest way to do this one, I think, is really just to get up on this little ledge right here. Yep, there we go. He's right there. Yes, I see this. Yeah, if by he you're referring to the snake, then yes, I see that he's right there. I wish he were a little bit more distant, actually. Maybe a little bit close for comfort. So I just have to, yep, bucket. Okay, no. Mr. Snake's feelings will be hurt if you don't. Well, from what I've seen, there's no shortage of people playing this game who have ridden the snake, so I predict it will not be long until the next person falls into that trap, assuming I don't. So I think he'll be fine. Plus, you know, snakes are kind of solitary creatures anyway. Got to keep that in mind. Wouldn't want to crowd him out, you know. I try to give the snakes their space. I just want Axe to be happy. Like, if you want footage of snake riding, you can look up just about any other VTuber doing it, I'm sure. That's literally what I just said. Yeah, with footage of people playing this game, it's yeah, the snake scene is one of the classic moments. Axe, ignore this emotional manipulation. Yeah, no worries on that. I think I shall not fall for the snake trap, at least not intentionally. If I do ride the snake, it will be unintentionally. But it's not the same. Yeah, no, it doesn't have the same disappointment and like loss of all your progress if you're not the one riding the snake. If you're just seeing someone else lose all their progress. Tia, stop this. Oh no, he needs the snake's help. Yeah, I can't say I agree, Web of Concepts, but you know, I do admire your persistence. You know, you're quite persistent when it comes to this, and that's it means you care, you know, and that's something that I guess is admirable in its own way. Oh God! Okay. Chat, that was not good. And now I'm back here with the hat under the icy cliff. But thank you for your expressions of sympathy. I do appreciate them quite a lot. Oh, okay, almost. It would have been great to get that first try, but I know that it's wishful thinking for a jump this hard. You got this, man. Thanks. Yeah. Well, turn me back to the snake. At least I didn't ride the snake, because if I'd ridden the snake, I would be even worse position than I am now. Ooh, okay. That was pretty. I think that was the fastest I've gone up that jump since getting stuck back there. So that's good. No. Almost. Oh, sorry. Every time the mouse jiggles, it's like, oh no. Okay. Yeah, you got this, man. Thank you, Zero. I'd like to think I've got this. But it's hard to be confident when you're playing a game like this. So you kind of moments like that go pretty well, but then you got this series of jumps, which is quite tricky. I'm gonna wipe my hands down here. Okay. All right. Good. Oh, okay. Yeah, this time you can't get too close to the edge. To the edge on this one. Okay. That was close, chat. You're getting better and better at this. Before long, you'll ace the bucket jump too. Thanks. I like to think so, or at least hope so. You know, chat, I'm actually getting kind of hot playing this game, so I'm going to pause for a second and unbutton my shirt. Ooh, yes. Going a little risque here. Gonna unbutton my shirt. Gonna try not to show too much cleavage. But it actually is getting kind of hot in this room playing this game. Okay, phew, there we go. That's a little bit better. Honestly, you're getting further in this than I ever could. Oh, well, it's a nice thing to say, Zero. I appreciate that, but you never know. You might be able to, if it's important not to sell yourself short, but I appreciate the nice thought. Saved. Yeah, saved with that one. You're right. Whenever I have a moment where like I think I'm gonna fall and then I don't, it's like, yes, saved. Ooh, nice. That was a really good job. I didn't even need my hammer to catch myself on the return slope. Axe stripping for free? Yes. All part of the experience. All in a day's work for me. Okay. So this time, yeah, I think I'm gonna need to pogo for this one too. Oh, no, a little bit too far. Okay. No, I would have rage quit after 5 minutes. Okay. Well, I'll take your word for it, Zero. Honestly, a reasonable decision. I'm starting to lose hope in seeing the light of reason. Well, you might get your wish even if it's not by any intentional decision of mine. I might just end up riding the snake by accident, web of concepts. that's still a prospect I would not count out at this point. Okay. Whew. Burb woman. I'm guessing I'm missing some lore. Thank you for keeping my hopes up. Well, yeah, I don't know if Tia's lore has any birds involved. Well, I know Karis does with Parrot, but with I mean, I guess the butterfly has the wings and flies, so maybe that is kind of like a bird in some way. But yeah, I guess well, you're not if you pay real close attention. Spiders are the best. I mean, I'll tell you what I think about spiders. I do think on a certain level, spiders are kind of cool, like the fact that they can make webs and that they're like nature's engineers, and you know, they have some neat abilities considered in the abstract, but they are kind of scary. Like I don't really, you know, want them on me, or sometimes even near me. Though it's okay if they're like at a zoo and it's in like behind a glass panel. I guess I'm okay with that, but otherwise, spiders are kind of, you know, they can kind of be rough sometimes. Whoa, Axe got far. Oh, hey, Blue Ice Cubes. Welcome. Yeah, I have made at least some progress. I've also had some setbacks in today's stream, but yeah, I've made a little bit of progress here and there. Have you not seen those cute jumping spider videos? Ooh, I don't know if I have. So, no. Okay. Ooh, see, that was actually a pro gamer move there, chat. And I'm not even kidding. When I saw that I was in danger of falling off to the right, I immediately thought, hey, maybe I can push myself off the ceiling back toward the left. And it worked. So little moments like that in this game kind of give you hope that maybe you can make it, even if things are looking grim in a particular moment. The way Cube says, I can confirm the snake is your friend. Why are there so many people here on the snake side? The snake army. Like, some of you were saying earlier the snake is lonely, but judging by how many people are in the snake's army / fan club, I definitely doubt the snake is lonely. Oh, Zeros also says spiders freak me out. Okay, well, good to know I'm not the only one on spiders then. I wonder, chat, if it was a spider I had to ride, would you still tell me to ride it? You probably would, because that's just the way that lots of you are. I think you're probably more fearful of spiders than I am. The proof is the one time one jumped on your mic while we were texting, I guess. Yeah, that was a scary spider moment. And there was a spider right on my microphone. Maybe the spider wanted to be a VTuber. Ah. Are you believing that, chat? Look at this. Oh, okay. That was a little bit of a roundabout way of going about it. Spiders are misunderstood, fellas. They just want to help. I'd like to think so. I did see a creepy video of spiders the other day. It was just a YouTube video about, I forget what documentary it was from, but a colony of baby spiders ate their own mother. And it wasn't even like against the mother's will. It was sort of the mother's like last act of sacrifice was basically like offering her body to her babies so that they would have more food to eat. And then the baby spiders ate like all the other adult spiders in the colony. So like the baby spiders generation was from that point on the only one left. It was a really creepy video. Yeah, spiders can be weird sometimes. I only have tiny house spiders. I let them chill in their corners. Yeah, if it's chilling in a corner far away from me, I guess I don't mind as much. Karis said he had a spider for a roommate. Oh. Yeah, that seems like it would be a roommate that Karis would have. Any plans to visit Australia? I can't say I do. I know they have some pretty big and pretty dangerous spiders there, like the golden orb weavers, the bird-eating spiders, the funnel web spiders, and so on. Stop trying to turn people against spiders. I'm just stating facts. I'm saying what actually happened in the documentary clip I was watching. Let's tell this story to Karis. He could use less sleep. Yeah, if we told it to Karis, yeah, there would definitely be a moment for him saying, "Ooh," you know, the way he always does. Australia just seems like a place full of God's rejects. Well, I suppose that's one way of putting it. Oh, no. I'd like to get up there the way I did last time, if like not having to swing on the bucket too much. Just like one single swing or a half swing. What would webs be without spiders? I guess they would just be things like we occasionally walk through and then get, you know, kind of pissed off, like, hey, like, what's this web thing that I'm walking through? But it wouldn't have quite the same scare factor as it does now if there weren't actually any spiders. That was a really good impression of his... Well, thank you, Tia. Good to know I can give an impression of at least one aspect of Karis' streaming. What we do with all those annoying bugs spiders eat. Yeah, true that with no. Okay, sorry. I was about to share a thought on bugs, but then this happened, and now I'm back at this cliff area. Yeah, this is looking kind of rough, chat. I don't know if am I gonna be able to make it out of this area? Or will the bucket be my undoing? Is the bucket gonna be the one area that finally does me in? No talking while sweating? Yeah, I probably should have been following that rule. I'd probably be in a better position now if I had. He'll get him soon. Oh, thank you, Tia. Not without the help of Snake. Oh, well. I'm still skeptical of that web of concepts. But again, I appreciate your persistence. I was wondering when the snake would show up, so I'm glad that we finally at least know where the snake is. Oh, ouch. Hit his head on the thing. Yeah, sometimes this guy probably should be wearing a hard hat for how much I hit his head on the underside of various objects out in the world of the game. If only there was a helpful fox to save you. They're friends with the snake. Oh. Yeah, this game could use a fox, I guess. That would be kind of cool. I don't know if what the developer would think of that, but yeah, the only fox I really know of in a video game context, I guess, is Star Fox. And that's a franchise that brings back some memories for me. The only Star Fox I had, well, I did have the Super Nintendo one, but okay, there we go. I also had the N64 one. The N64 one was the last Star Fox game I ever had, though. I know some would say, like, I chose to leave the series at a pretty good point. Like, maybe that was the last good Star Fox game. But it was the last one I had, at any rate. And actually, if you're curious to know a bit more of my IRL lore, the Star Fox for the Super Nintendo was the first Super Nintendo game I had, and also the first console game I ever had, because the Super Nintendo was my first console. And Star Fox was the first game that I had for it. Oh no, am I stuck here? Okay. There we go. Okay. Swiper the Fox from Dora point and click adventure game. Oh yeah, that's okay. How could I have forgotten that one? Yeah, Swiper, no swiping. Oh, there's a little gift from the developers. I know what's in that gift though. I think you and Leon have greatly overlapping taste in games. Probably so. You want to see what's in the thing, chat? Here we go. Yeah. I hope that didn't scare anyone too much. Yeah, Leon seems like the kind of guy who could appreciate Star Fox 64. So anyway, earlier I was saying that, yeah, the Super Nintendo one was the first console game I ever had. But the N64 one was, I think, pretty undoubtedly a better game. Nice. Mine was Ocarina of Time. Couldn't have asked for a better first game. Yeah, no doubt about that. Ocarina of Time is the greatest of all time, in my view. So that's cool that you got to have that for your first one. I'm close, chat. I'm close to getting this one. Oh, nice. Okay. Was able to recover it. And I found once I'm on this part, getting up to this particular cliffside is not usually too big of a challenge. I feel like there is something about older games that the current ones lack. Yeah, what could it be? Web of Concepts? Because I think often that is true. Not always, perhaps, but it's... I do identify to a certain extent with what you're saying. Yeah, I wonder what your opinion is of what it what those older games might have that the current ones lack. And I suppose there are some easy answers one could give here, like, you know, oh, back with the older games, it wasn't so much like, you know, microtransactions and things like that. But I wonder if maybe there's a deeper answer that people sometimes have in mind when they say things like that. Okay. Nope. 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 Maybe just my nostalgia kicking in. Maybe so. I mean, older games were also simpler to me. Oh, yes, true. Yeah, it was a simpler time. Games like that. Like, I'm not that old, but they had a charm to them. Maybe the novelty of it all, the fact that your tastes change as you age. Yeah, I think sometimes with games there's just a sense of you know, boldness they had in being like, you know, the first to experiment with a certain genre, and sometimes newer ones can maybe feel a little more derivative. Which is not to say that there's not still, you know, experimentation, but yeah, no, I'm not sure if I have any strong feelings on that of like, you know, old games versus new games. A lot of the new ones I don't really play, so I guess in some ways I'm maybe not the most informed person on the debate. But there are a lot of old ones that are close to my heart. Oh, Leon, hello. Well, for my take, the last dating game I played, I did get the girl for real, for real. Congratulations. That's, yeah, dating games are ones I often have trouble with, so that's cool that you were able to succeed in the game. I wonder if it's that older games took more risks and didn't have to be all things to all people since they costed less to develop. Oh yeah, leading to a more enriching experience. Yeah, I think sometimes, especially with big budget modern games, there's maybe more of a sense of being designed by committee. Whereas sometimes with the older games, they might have a sense of being more of like, you know, one person's unified creative vision. So I can see how that, I think that is often a fair point. Star Fox 64 is great though. Yep, so many classic moments, quotations from that game. I mean, I like newer games more, to be honest though. Well, with newer games, one thing that I think is really almost undeniable is that they do have various, you know, quality of life improvements at the very least, and maybe other advantages too that, you know, sometimes can be easy to overlook if you haven't played old games in a while. Leon, you're married. Of course you'd beat it. I swear I summoned Leon only psychically by mentioning I'm not physically, vocally. I believe you, Tia. Games nowadays lack trust in snakes. Ooh. Maybe that's it. This game that we're playing now is actually not like a super new game. I think it's probably maybe about like 9 years old by now. So it's a game that has some mileage to it. Okay. No, no. Ugh. There have been some good indie Star Fox games. If you like Star Fox, you might enjoy X Zodiac. Yeah, maybe. I wouldn't be opposed to trying out some games like that. Yeah. RIP. Thank you, Tia. Yeah, 9 years. It is surprising, Zero. I know when you think about it, because it doesn't seem like that long ago that this game came out, but I think it's something like that or something close to that. I think around 2017. Making me feel old, and I'm probably the youngest here. Well, don't worry. Oh, chat, did you notice that? First try. Yeah, don't worry, Zero. It'll get that feeling of being old. It'll get worse as you get older. That's just the nature of the beast. But I think what matters most is not how old you are, it's how old you feel. So if you can always keep that youthfulness, that sense of a curious and open-minded spirit with you, then I think your youthfulness will stay with you just as it will with anyone for as long as you live. Okay. Here we go. At this point, I don't even want to necessarily like get to the top of this plate. I just want to get like back to the bucket area. I do feel like a grandpa despite barely being an adult. That's how I'm gonna have trouble not thinking of you that way on web concepts of like OG-san. Grandpa, the one always going on about snakes and how I should ride the snake. As a certain song once put it, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Much wisdom in those lines. Okay, so I'm gonna try to pogo. Thought of not only having kids, but having grandkids is terrifying. Yeah, it's I don't know. I mean, for me, I think the kids is the more terrifying than grandkids, just because like kids I would be more directly responsible for. But yeah, grandkids, like then I guess you would know that you're old if your kids have their own kids already. I actually find myself caring less than I did years ago, but maybe it's because I have a few older friends to compare myself to now. Yeah, that could be it. I guess it all really does come down to comparisons for a lot of people. I just spammed the Just Cord gaming channel with Star Fox Indies because Lord knows we will only get another Star Fox 64 remake rehash. Yeah, it seems like they're quite fond of that, Nintendo, of just kind of trying to recapture the glory of Star Fox 64 instead of making something new. Wait, I'm not going to pogo this. I think I'm going to try the other strategy. Okay. Okay, there we go. Good. Leon, if you encourage Axe, you'll beat the game sooner, and I will hang out with you sooner. Yo, nice. Oh, thank you, Zero. Yeah, yeah, I always appreciate anyone's encouragement, but I feel like you've always been a pretty encouraging guy to me, Leon, so... but yeah, if you do have any encouragement to share for this game, use the boost to get through. Thank you, Leon. That is just the encouragement that I needed. Zero says, the idea of having kids is a nightmare to me. I mean, yeah, I can't say I've ever been drawn to the idea myself. It's one of those things that seems like it would be so much responsibility that... I mean, I know lots of people do it, but like having to be responsible for an entirely new human being, it indeed would be a lot. Back to my snaky goat. I knew you'd be glad to see the snake Lottle in Web of Concepts. What's the scariest part of the idea? I feel like with kids, at least you wouldn't be alone when you get really old, like the chairs guy. Yeah, but see, the thing is, by the time I get really old, I feel like maybe I'll either have like friends or like AI will be good enough to like be a convincing, you know, friend. I've got myself covered. I've got a plan. Got a plan for that. I can hang out with you anytime, Tia, so I can watch Axe suffer. Yes, this is a great couples activity, you know, watching me suffer. So I'm glad you all can experience it together. Oh, Webcon. Leon, could you ask Axe to try the snake? Don't fall for it, Leon. They're trying to get me to ride the snake. Wouldn't be able to take care of kids. I'd be agitated 24/7 and dragging myself out of bed. Yeah, I think for me, the main thing is just that, like, yeah, I have like weird hours, weird habits in terms of like when I'm up and so on. And yeah, kids would maybe interfere with that. Yeah, but like you got to raise the thing. I can't raise a good person. Wonder why you feel that way, Zero. I mean, I respect your, of course, thoughts, and you know yourself much better than I ever will. But if it's because you think you're not a good person, then I will say I think that is false. I think you are a good person. But it could be maybe even though you are a good person, you're someone who maybe rightly thinks perhaps raising a new person would not be the best venture for you. Just as it's probably not for me, you know. I think it's not really the kind of thing I would be into too. Oh, also, hi Estella, welcome. We're just trying to make some more progress in this godforsaken game, and and you know, doing okay. We're pretty close to the end. It's just hard going though, you know. Snake is a beautiful creature that should be ridden. Yeah, we got a lot of snake fans in here. There's a part of me that can't wait to have children. Sometimes I look around the house and feel like someone is missing from our family. Ooh, maybe a cat? Or a child, I suppose. Yeah, I feel like I'd be a bad parent, but it feels like life would be incomplete without them. It's an interesting perspective. Could always read some books on parenting, and I don't know much about it myself, but I suppose that's what I would do if I really wanted to, but it felt like I wouldn't be good at it yet. But don't worry, even good parents can accidentally raise bad children through no fault of the parents. Also a fair point, yeah. Someone might not turn out well, and it might not be the parents' fault, or at least not entirely or primarily the parents' fault. What's that too? But like raising a kid involves the emotional regulation that I do not have. I'm patient, but not that patient. I see. Oh, and that's why you don't. That's why you said you would rage quit 5 minutes into this game, Zero, because of the patience. It's all fitting together for me now. I'm studying, so it's nice to have this as background. Okay. Yeah, that's you know, you can study and then I can suffer in the background. I can see how that's a good background content for a stream. So for this, I think I want to be relatively close to the edge because I don't want to hit that part that's jutting out above. So if I pogo off this and then pogo off that above. Gonna try the double pogo strategy again, chat. So wish me luck. Okay. It was not a very good double pogo attempt, but you know, I'm still here at the bucket, and that's not terrible. So all in all, could be worse. Ooh, I think that was my best attempt yet, in terms of the bucket at least. Do a barrel roll or a cauldron roll. I do want to be a parent, to be honest, even if I don't have a partner. It surprisingly is a goal. Okay. Well, I predict it's a goal that you will be able to succeed at then, Stella. I mean, yeah, also that's a good point. Tia, in response to Ice Cubes, when it says she was a good parent, but I'm low-key just existing and nothing else. I mean, existing doesn't make you a bad person. It's true, Blaze Cubes. You've brought a lot of happiness to my streams, Blaze Cubes, from your comments here, so I hope you will keep that in mind. I'm sure there are other things you've done that have been even more significant than that, but that is something that I hope you won't forget. I will lurk because it's time to lock in. Okay. Well, good luck with locking in, Stella. Yeah, I think that, or Estella, we're both going to have to lock in our own ways, it seems, for this one right here. Oh, okay. That time I was actually really close. Wholesome community. Probably thanks to the snake. I see. The snake is at the root of all of this. The one bringing us all together. So there's the first swing. Okay. I think if I can get it to like one swing to the right, and then if I swing hard to the left, that might be the setup that I'm looking for here. Okay, so one swing to the right, and then... Well, actually, I don't really have good positioning there. Yeah, I want my axe to be kind of, yeah, farther to the left. So that's good. If it's over here. Yep, there we go. Okay. Getting more reliable and making it up to this part right here. I, for one, welcome our snake overlords. So I'm sure they're delighted to hear that, Luddle. They are absolutely thrilled. All right. Gonna try this again, chat. Ah, not quite. The snake calls for you, Axaeon. Well, that's a call I am just going to leave on not answered, because I think I'm all set without the snake's help. Thought the snake was our friend. Yeah, don't leave the snake all alone. Okay, yo. Not gonna fall for the emotional manipulation. You can try, but it's not gonna work. But what I hope does work is this jump right here. Okay, chat. This is as far as we've gotten so far. And now I face what just might be the biggest challenge yet. A sheer wall of ice. Can I make it, chat? Can I overcome this? Or will this be my undoing? Okay, yeah, I can already see how slippery it is. And the thing you have to keep in mind too is that if I slip down this path, that's going to have a lot of momentum, and then I might end up accidentally riding the snake, which I do not want to do. So just try to keep up. Ooh, okay. It looks like even... So I can't really rest my cauldron on it because it's too slippery, I suppose. Like, my hammer is able to get me some traction. But once I start climbing the cliff face, I can't pause and rest. I can't stop. I have to keep climbing it. Okay. Starting to run out of mouse pad for some of these. Actually, maybe I can rest in some parts, because it looks like I'm resting right here. You'll get the bad ending for leaving the snake. You're trying every trick in your book now, Web of Concepts. I can see how desperate you are. Okay. You can do it. Oh, thank you, Tia. And thank you, by the way, Zero and Laudel and everyone else for and Web of Concepts, and just, yeah, everyone for your encouragement. This is going to be a tough cliff to get over, but yeah, you do have to be at least somewhat quick, but you also can't, if you swing your axe down too quickly, then I've seen this happen before. It'll launch you out away from the cliff face. So it's all about finding that perfect sweet spot. So not getting cocky. Okay.
Have you thought about who you are in this? Are you the man in the pot, Diogenes? Are you his hand? Are you the top of his hammer?
Okay.
I think not. Where your hand moves, the hammer may not follow, nor the man, nor the man's hand. In this you're his will, his intent, the embodied resolve in his uphill ascent.
Getting a little voiceover here. So it says I'm his resolve. I'm his resolve, his will to climb the mountain. And now, yeah, he does sound a lot more emotional. You're right, Web of Concepts. And this was the first time the game referred to him by his name, Diogenes. So now it looks like, if you can believe it, this is even... I can hardly hear him. Oh, maybe I need to increase game audio a little bit. Okay, I just increased it a little bit. This looks like an even steeper even steeper cliff here. Yeah, I can't really hear him either. Okay. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, I think sometimes in streams I have a tendency to set the game audio a little too low. It's probably something I need to work on. So that's useful feedback for me. Thank you. Okay. I do feel like I'm kind of close to the edge on this part, so I'm going to try to bring myself just a little bit closer. All right. I feel like my axe is probably going to like start. Yep. I knew that was going to happen. How am I supposed to... How am I supposed to get up this? Is my axe just going to... Because here's the thing, if I do it too fast, if I swing around too fast, it's going to launch myself out into oblivion. If I do it too slow, I slide down the cliff. So I just have to find the perfect speed. Okay, yeah. Or actually, I wonder, is this a possibility? Can I push myself up like this? Would that have any prospect of succeeding? Probably not, but it might be worth a try for a cliff face this steep. Yeah, I think that the main hurdle here is going to be that this first part of it. Yeah, I keep falling down that way. I keep telling you it's impossible. Just go back to the snake. You wish Web of Con... Well, again, I might end up going back there, but not by my own will. If I fall down far enough, we will soon be back with the snake. Or maybe I do have to be able... Because it seemed like my hammer was able to grip just a little bit that last time. Like if I do it like this... Okay, that's also okay. No, okay. I like how you keep my hopes up despite me rooting for you to fall to the snake. I try, you know. I do try. Yeah, it's tough with this because you keep falling back down. Even if you try your hardest. Okay, good. There's a little bit of a place there to grip. Okay. Whew. Yep, major case of sweaty hands, but it's all right. It's all part of the experience. But yeah, to be honest, chat, I really don't know if there's an ideal way of going about this section beyond just trying like this a whole bunch of times. Could this be it? Like if you just try to see, because now I'm at least resting a little bit on the mountain. I think speed. Yeah, you're resting up for the big climb. You got this, man. Thank you, Zero. Yeah, it could be like maybe for this next part I might need some speed. But it's also like given how steep it is, I can't if I go too fast, I'll just kind of launch myself off. Yeah, see, I thought that might happen. But that's okay. I'm still not in too bad position overall. Yep. It's nerve-wracking, chat. It's nerve-wracking. I'm sure it is, not just for me, but for you as well. Oh, okay, come on. You're so close. I know. So close. Yeah, so far, perhaps not. Maybe not. Yeah, so far. Maybe just so close. Okay. Now, is this ice here going to make my axe slip a whole bunch? Okay. Okay, I think we might be safe for the moment. Appears I've come across some kind of temple. Almost like the Parthenon in a way. What could this be up here? Yes, let's go indeed. Yeah.
Now, you've conquered the ice cliff, the platforms, the church, and the rectory, the living room and the factory, the playground, the construction site,
no.
the granite rocks, and the lakeside. You've learned to hike. There's no way left to go but up, and in a moment I'll shut up. But let me say, I'm glad you came.
Oh, that's nice. That means a lot coming from him somehow. You know what it's like, chat? It's like the moment in a martial arts movie where the student has been just training so hard with their master and has been like getting basically like beaten up and is all sweaty and just covered in bruises, but they've succeeded at the training and the master is there and proud of them and the student is proud of themselves and so grateful to the master. That's what I feel like right now in this moment. So can I rest on this? Okay, good. Can I rest on... Okay. This is tense. Yeah, I see people are scared now. This part is kind of... It's tense in a different way from the ice cliff. But yeah, still tense. I just have to get the right angle on my jump. No, okay. It's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I don't think there's too much danger of falling all the way back down the cliff now, but yeah, if it's just like around here in the shopping cart, luckily I can make that up without too much trouble. This is nail biting now. I have complete faith in you. Thank you. Oh, Estelle, I feel like this emoji. Well, that is what I'm going to imagine you as now, Estella. For those who are feeling like it's super intense now, one thing that might help it feel less intense is if I keep having setbacks and trouble on this tower section, then eventually it might start to become a little less tense. But we'll see. I know I'm very close to the end now. You got this, man. Oh, thank you. Thank you, Zero. Okay, so yeah, back up here to the tower. Okay. It's so narrow. Just don't get the bad ending now. Okay. Yeah, that would be an unexpected twist if this game kind of like gave you a choice at the end, you know? And you had to choose right. Or get the bad ending. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can rest on this one, and then slowly reposition myself up here. Okay, yes, yes. Okay. Okay, up on this one. Gonna take it nice and slow. Having a bit of trouble on this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I was just stuck for a little bit. Almost at the top of the tower, chat. Can you believe it? Oh, dang. Sorry, chat. I know that was anticlimactic, but at least we didn't lose a whole shit ton of progress. Like, at least we're still in the final area. Ikuzo, thank you, Tia. I'm gonna try to get up there quickly because I know it's a special moment for everyone, and everyone's biting their nails. But chat, I have to be honest, I can't promise you that there won't be many further moments like that of like falling down again. But I will try. That last jump on the tower is really hard. But we'll see. Just have to keep doing the best we can, just like we've done in the rest of the game up to this point. Can you imagine we spend another hour on this part? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking is a distinct possibility at this point. Okay. I'm going to try not to spend another hour on this part because that would be terrible. But all we can do is just do the best we can. Okay, good. Oh, no. Okay. One must imagine they're climbing a playground climbing wall. Perhaps that would make it easier. Sorry, yeah, with the tower, the thing is, like, if you miss any of the jumps, then you end up kind of pushing yourself away. For those who have seen other people play this game, chat, is it common for streamers to spend a lot of time on this part? Or by the time they get to this part, are they usually, like, able to complete it really quickly? Is it just me? Is it just me that runs into trouble on this last part? You think I'm kidding, but you can get a bad end on this part. Oh no. I hope it's not determined by how many failed attempts you have. Yeah, I think if I have to be not quite right up next to it, because then he might hit his head on the thing. I saw someone almost reach the top and being set back all the way down. Okay, maybe that's the bad end. You're doing great. Thank you, Estella. Yeah, that's what I most want to avoid right now. Oh. Yeah, that part that juts out extra far there is one of the toughest parts of this. The fact that you made it this far is awesome. Oh, thank you, Zero. Well, I'm going to try to make it even farther, but it is possible. As if you ever feel like the snake is down there waiting for you. He is down there waiting for me. Oh, dang it. Okay. Yeah, this is one of the major hurdles of this tower is that, yeah, that part that juts out. You got this, Axe. Don't look down. Thanks. Well, I'm actually going to pause for a second and... because I can feel... if anyone wants a visual of my situation here, I can sort of feel the sweat dripping down my back, so it's going to take... Earlier I unbuttoned my shirt, now I'm taking it off. Now it's just my undershirt, which I still need so I can wipe my hands on. So okay, maybe that will help me out. Okay, there we go. Whew. Back up to the tower, okay. Actually, I wonder if maybe I can get up from that thing again. Maybe I've been going about this the wrong way. You've been getting better at this every time? Oh, thank you. Wearing 2 shirts at home is diabolical. Oh, I'm imagining this respectfully. Yes, thank you, Tia. Can't believe someone would so heartlessly leave them behind. Oh, don't worry, I don't think the snake's too distraught about it. Ooh, Axe's second form, yes. It actually does feel kind of strange, because I don't normally wear short sleeves. I'm usually wearing something long sleeves, but... this time, I'm wearing short sleeves. Okay, so that was a pretty good initial run up there. Now I just want to... I was trying to find like a resting spot there, but... if I were the snake, I would be very sad. I'll have you know. Okay, well. Duly noted, Zero. Duly noted. Okay. Yeah, there's an awkward spot there where my hammer can get kind of stuck, but I just have to sort of finesse it. I think you will keep hitting the red light in me, and you may win, but you will feel guilty while doing so. Ooh, well. Guilt is one of the worst feelings. Ah, dang it. No, no! Oh, gosh, I'm sorry, chat. Okay. Nothing to do now, but try to make it up again. I guess that's the risk with trying to climb the tower. Could be worse, honestly. Yeah, it could have been worse. Could have fallen farther back down. Could have involved the snake. Okay. Halfway up the ice cliff. which is faster than the first time I think I did this. So, but now we have the really tough ice cliff. Okay, there we go. Hammer friction, don't fail me now. Got this hammer. Just slow, methodical movements. Okay. Sorry, just keep up the ascent. Gonna wipe my hands down a bit. Okay. Okay. Oh, no. Okay. Yeah, that first part of it there is really steep and really slick. Easy to keep falling back down. Oh, no, dang it. Okay. You know, I should count my blessings. At least there is this little small resting place right here. If it weren't for that, it'd be even harder. Okay. Oh, no. Yeah, once you lose some progress on this one, hard not to just keep falling. Honestly, still not sure whether the right... Okay, I'm at the bottom of it. I'm honestly not sure whether the best strategy for this section involves, like, speed or just, like, going at it really slowly and methodically. I think last time I took kind of the slow strat, so maybe I should give that another try. The slow strat serves me pretty well on this, at least on this first part of it, I think. It's over here on this steeper cliff part, though, that really starts to make me wonder what the best strategy for this part is. Almost makes me wonder if there's a bit of RNG involved, because, like, I know sometimes it slips and then sometimes it doesn't. But I really don't know if it's RNG or not. Whew. Okay, yeah. Luckily, yeah, pretty good at getting to this middle part. Just that one last area. That's the hardest. Okay, that time I went for a little bit more speed, and I think seems to be working out slightly better than the previous run. Okay. Yeah, it's still tricky, but maybe for the first part of the ice wall, like slow and steady wins the race, but for the second part, you just need a little bit more speed. No, no, okay. Sometimes the pickaxe seems to dig deeper into the snow. Yeah, that's an interesting observation. Would be nice if I could replicate that. But instead I just seem to keep falling back down. Maybe the angle? I mean, maybe so, but I don't really know how I'm supposed to change the angle, because it seems like I only have one place where my dude can be at a given time. Or maybe I'm misunderstanding, but yeah, it seemed like there that time it seemed to dig in a little bit more. Could be maybe there were just certain spots on the mountain that get that kind of deeper grip on it. Ooh, that was close. Okay. Yeah, whatever happens, I just can't let myself get too impatient. Gotta remember how far I've come. Thinking maybe digging next to your character instead of farther away, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I mean, it's a reasonable guess. Maybe that's could be worth a try at least. Or once I do have a grip, maybe like pulling my character along that way. This might, you know, might result in more reliable, I suppose. Yeah, that time it didn't work too well, but maybe it's more reliable overall. It's a little harder to pull off, but could be that's part of the skill they're expecting players to show in this part. Yeah, as frustrating as it is to say, chat, I seem to be getting worse at this part. Because now I'm having trouble even with the first part of the ice wall, which I haven't always had trouble with. I wonder, chat, has anyone... Seems maybe when you dig the snow and drag it toward yourself slightly. Yeah, that's yeah, a strategy I'm kind of trying out right now. I wonder, chat, have you ever seen anyone be on the tower, like close to the top of the tower, and then fall down on the ice like this? I kind of hope I'm not the only one, but somehow it wouldn't surprise me too much to know that, like, other people when they make it to the tower. It's like, yeah, like that's it. Yeah, I've seen that so many times. Don't worry. Okay, well, that actually does make me feel a little bit better. I think it's a pattern. First, it goes well, then the feeling of regression from experimenting, and then mastery. So if I want to do a 24-hour marathon of this game, and she did that so many times. Okay. All right, thank you. Yeah, definitely not the only one. Okay, good. Yeah, that definitely does help. Does help somewhat. Yeah. Sometimes, like, I think the axe has a good grip, and then it just starts sliding. Imagine if we told you you're the only one. Yeah, I would be just like, okay, sorry, chat. My gamer credentials must be revoked if I was the only one. Yeah, it would be so much easier if he could just get out of the cauldron. I guess that would defeat the whole point, wouldn't it? Of climbing the mountain in this way. Ooh, that was kind of cool. I did a little. I'm gonna try not to rely on hops because I think they're kind of risky in this part, but sometimes a little hop like that might end up, you know, working out fortuitously. It'd be so cool if you could use anything but a hammer. Yeah. In fact, if you would even just hold the hammer the other way, you know, and the really sharp end, use that to try to dig into the mountain. Seems like that probably work a little bit better at least. Okay. Ooh, I think I'm starting to see chat. Once I get a good grip on it. If I pull myself up kind of quickly, then I can get a little bit more progress in those moments. But it does involve the risk of, like, kind of hopping a little bit. I hate how invested I am in this stream. Yeah, it's going to be one of those either blessed or cursed streams to look back on, no matter how it ends up. Took me the whole game to notice he doesn't use the sharp end. That's fucked up. Oh, we're hostages. Yeah, I mean, no matter what, the VOD will always be there, but I know sometimes for moments like this, it's not the same seeing it on the VOD. VOD watchers, please send help. Yeah, what I'm thinking, though, is, like, if it continues long enough, chat, trust me, I have a heart, and I am not someone who's necessarily opposed to, you know, just, like, ending the stream at around right here and then just saying, okay, like, next stream can be, like, the final ascent, you know, the final climb. Still not sure if I'm ready to give up just yet on perhaps beating it today, but I realize it has been a long time for everybody. So you all are the real troopers for sticking it out with me like this. Just take the snake. And we can all go home. Yes, but we would all go home not in triumph, but in tragedy. We'd be going home in defeat if we took the snake. Never give up, even if it takes 3 more streams. Well, when you put it like that, I just might have to. That's some inspiring words there. Okay. Nope. Okay, okay. I'm not complaining. You got this. Okay, thank you. Thank you, Lotto, and Triumph for the snake. Ooh, are tragedy and triumph so different? It's a good question. I do think sometimes defeats can be more glorious than the greatest victories. If they're a defeat when you show yourself to be a virtuous warrior, and you go down fighting even amidst odds that are certain to result in your death, but you fight bravely, I think there can be a certain glory in that. So perhaps you're right. It's going a lot better. Nice. Yeah, that last run up the side of the mountain here, I think, did go a bit better. Display your virtue by taking the snake. Yeah, but on this one... Yeah, it's even... Because that strategy I was using last time of like pulling myself up to get like short little hops, I'm not sure if it's as viable a strategy on this next part. It might be. See, but then, see, the risk is that that ends up happening. And since it's a steeper slope, there's a risk of losing more progress the more that I try like the hop strategy. So maybe I'll just try my slow and steady strategy. Words of wisdom, we're eating good today. Oh, thank you, Lotto. Anyone want an icebreaker? I think I see what you did there, Leon. Icebreaker actually would, like an ice pick, would be immensely helpful for my dude Diogenes here. Ice picks rule. That they do, that they do. Oh, nope, a little too fast there. No, thank you. I prefer being cubed. Ooh, yes. Yeah, cubes are a good fit for your shape. I agree. Ice cubes. Ooh, Estella's giving me the drum roll here. Ooh, now the pressure's on. Oh, no, 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 okay, no. Oh, no, 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 no. Okay, sorry, chat. At least I'm still right here, though, so it's not catastrophic. It's not terrible. Could be worse. Okay. Whew. That first part of the hill, I think, is getting a little less painful. Ooh, okay, nice, nice. No, no. Okay. So it looks like I can use hops at least to some extent on the steeper hill. I think taking the Snape should have been the good ending and making it up the bad one. That would be kind of funny if the game pulled something like that, but then the good ending, it would just be a little too easy, wouldn't it? Okay. If I just, yeah, pull myself up, gotta get a good grip and then pull myself up. That's the secret to this first part, I think. Yep. That. I say it's the secret and then I fall back down, but I do think there is something to that. This as a viable strategy, at least because it's one that is, I guess it's good for if you're trying to get up there quickly. Not that speed is what we're, trying to prioritize now. If anything, the priority is simply, safety, but sometimes with these other ones, you end up just end up sliding down in a way, and it's not clear if there's a better way to do this one. Okay. Okay. Phew. All right. So this is back to my spot right here, and can I make this, or is the hop strategy just too, is it just too difficult given how steep this cliff face is? But the thing is, if I try the other way, then I end up like slipping down it too. Okay. Almost had it there. Had a bit of a good rhythm for a second. But sometimes it's just at the end where things end up not working out, but that's okay. We'll live to give it another try. Ugh, I'm almost a little afraid to go further, chat. I don't know. What do you think? Should I keep trying? Or should we call it a stream? Because if I do stop here, I could see myself, doing the rest in a future stream. Web concept, I think the slow strat might be required. I mean, for the top one, I think I would agree with that. Or for the more difficult area of the cliff face. For this slightly less difficult one here, I can see kind of the the slightly faster strat I think does work, but yeah, the top one is definitely tricky. You got this, man. Only do what you feel comfortable with. Oh, thank you, Zero. It's nice to be in a chat where the commenters are so supportive. Nobody bullies me. Unless you want to take a break. But we believe in you, of course. Oh, well, thank you all for believing in me. It's funny because the thing is, if I could get up to where the tower is, then I almost feel like I could see myself conquering the tower more easily than I could conquering this ice wall. Bully you never. Well, yeah, I know you all wouldn't bully me, but the only reason I bring that up is that I know there are some other VTubers whose community can sometimes, you know, give them a hard time. Not that I'm sure any of you ever would, or any of you know any VTubers like that. Would bullying work to get you to take the snake? We only advocate for snake love, I see. Yes. Well, the thing that I'm worried about, Chad, is if what if I keep trying, but then I end up losing because of a careless mistake? I don't know if I will. Maybe I'll give it... Should I give it one more try? Ooh, who would do such a thing? Who would do such a thing indeed? Well, chat, I think all in all, this has been pretty good progress this stream. I think probably the smartest thing for me to do, the most prudent thing, would be to close out here and use the skills that I've gained from this stream and the practice to kind of prepare me for the next one. But I feel like if I try to finish the game right now, I might be aiming a little too close to the sun, flying too close to the sun. But I do think the good news is that with one more stream, I could do it. Well, actually, let me think about that. Because I know I'm close to the end. If I do one more, it might end up being like a short stream if I get it pretty quickly in the next stream of this game. Or it could end up being like a really long stream just on this one like ice wall. I would not put that out of the realm of possibility to the end. Yeah, what if the next stream is like 10 minutes long due to beating it? You are so close to the end. Okay, I tell you what. Okay, chat. Let's do like one more try. One more try. Here we go. Okay. Okay. 10 wonderful minutes of climbing. I'd watch that. I'd like it if it was 10 minutes, because that would mean I can put this game behind me and not have to worry about falling down anymore. But yeah, I think that probably is actually for real a good moment to end the game for today's stream. Thank you all, by the way, for sticking with it and watching me make all this progress. I hope that you'll be able to catch the next one if you were invested and wanted to see. If you were one of those who was super invested during the tower part, I'm sorry I did not make it all the way during that part, but during the next stream, I will try to, and we'll try not to lose everything. But I guess it's all part of the mystery and wonder of this game, that that you never know if you're going to instantly find yourself back at the beginning. But yeah, in the meantime, I think I'm going to take a little break, and I hope that you all have a good rest of the evening with whatever you're doing too, whether it's taking a rest or studying or working. So yeah, you're all very welcome. I see your comments. Yeah, thank you for the stream. I'm invested in the next chapter of the snake game. Yeah, I have a feeling, yeah, you all aren't going to forget about the snake. I can understand that. So you'll have a chance to bring up the snake and try to get me to ride the snake in the next stream too. But anyway, thank you all. Tomorrow I will be streaming more of Scarlet Hollow. So particularly if you were there for that stream yesterday and you want to see how the story progresses, that will be tomorrow. And that will be my last stream this week before next week begins. So anyway, thank you everybody. See you next time. And goodbye. Goodbye for now.